on eagle's wings and bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. To you, the people of this island, have shown such absolute courage. The nation stands with you. It really does.
Thanks everybody. It began back in 2009 and takes into account certain non-cash government assistance, tax credits, and needed expenses. The supplemental poverty rate for children was the lowest on record since the measure began, and without the enhanced child tax credit, the rate would have only fallen to 9%, and some 5 million people were lifted out of poverty because of this credit. This credit is similar to a stimulus check and is something that you guys should take care of. And overall, the supplemental poverty rate was 7.8% for 2021. That's down from 9.2% a year earlier. The reduction in poverty, however, will likely be short-lived since the beefed-up credit was only in effect for 2021. Now, the supplemental rate compares with the official poverty rate, which was only 11% overall in 2021. Now, this official poverty rate for children was 15%, and also the poverty rate among the elderly rose 10% as well. This is likely because a larger share is on fixed incomes, everybody, that are not keeping up with the pace with inflation. As we can all see, the major problem here in America is inflation, and stimulus checks are the only way that people can help out. Now, this is likely because a larger share is fixed on incomes that are not keeping up with inflation, and still, Social Security has kept 26 million people, the majority of them senior citizens, out of poverty. So it's an important bill. Also, median household income in 2021 was $70,000, and not statistically different than a year earlier, even as inflation started to soar last year. This follows a 2.9% decline in median income in 2020, the first year of the crisis and the first statistically significant drop since 2011. So while the overall number of workers didn't change, the number of full-time, year-round workers included an increase by 11 million. However, inflation-adjusted median earnings, this means inflation checks, of those workers decreased 4%. So the supplemental poverty measure has taken on increased important measures in the recent years, particularly when Congress decided to send out multiple stimulus bills in 2020. So as part of this American Rescue Plan that President Biden signed, Congress enhanced the first child tax credit for 1 year. To be eligible to receive the stimulus card benefits, you must be a Chicago resident and have a valid city sticker for your vehicle. Now, data provided by the City of Chicago suggests that the median household income for a family of 4 is $93,000. According to local Chicago news stations, 75% of these cards will prioritize residents in community areas that have higher mobility hardship, while the remaining 25% will be distributed citywide. Now, costly gasoline prices could hamper the United States' economic recovery if it continues. So central is the price of fuel to the household budgets for millions of people. However, with an influence of factors sparking the recent price increase, a quick remedy seems unlikely. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here's your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. In this video, I'll be bringing you up to date on the latest stimulus news and information, including what may happen if Biden's massive infrastructure bill is not passed soon. Everybody, I just hope our politicians in Congress pass a fourth stimulus bill. Our politicians have got to help out the good American people in this country. And if you folks agree with my message, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes.
Well, we had a good hour-and-a-half meeting with the president, the vice president, and two Democratic leaders. Almost all of the discussion was about infrastructure, and I think I'm safe in saying there is certainly a bipartisan desire to get an outcome. Clearly, Senate Republicans are not interested in revisiting the 2017 tax bill. I think the president and the vice president understand that.
Everybody, Democratic lawmakers are trying really hard to approve trillions of dollars in a new spending bill to tackle everything from education to housing and even clean energy. The federal government has struggled to quickly translate cash from Congress into actual shovels in the ground. Everybody, President Joe Biden still has to figure out how to spend the money on time, on budget, and with the intended impact. And depending on how all that goes, President Biden could finally restore faith in big government programs. A former Democratic congressman told NBC News, "The American people are asking one question and one question only. Will this infrastructure package work?" and advocates and outside experts say that the Biden administration is well positioned to route money through existing programs, boost state and local governments that have an existing backlog of infrastructure projects, and accelerate clean energy trends. But there are still a lot of details to fill in and many potential hurdles to overcome. Even if the money is approved, everybody plans to boost access to care for seniors, and disabled Americans could conflict with plans to raise pay for caregivers. Billions of dollars to update the electric grid could run into objections from communities who don't want new power lines crossing their territory. One thing can also affect investments in affordable housing, which the White House hopes to address this year. So President Joe Biden has also said that he wants to see a corporate tax rate between 25 and 28%, and that is now a new marker in the ongoing negotiations over how to fund a massive infrastructure bill. During an event, President Biden said, "The way I can pay for this is making sure that the largest companies don't pay zero, and reducing the 2017 corporate tax cut to between 25 and 28%. That's a couple $100 billion, and we can pay for these things." The remarks were the first time Joe Biden has acknowledged that his initial proposal of raising the corporate tax rate to 28%, up from the current 21%, was shifting amid negotiations on the costly infrastructure bill. And Biden's signature domestic policy bill would invest $2 trillion into rebuilding parts of the United States infrastructure, from roads and bridges to expanded broadband. Lawmakers must definitely pass another relief package, and it must increase the Social Security benefits by $200 a month. And if folks agree with me, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. Thank you for watching, everybody. Until next time, have a great day and stay safe. I truly appreciate everyone's amazing support.
Airports, broadband, those are the places we could find common ground and work together. The other thing I think America wants to know is that you're not going to wait a decade to build it. I brought up to the president that we need NEPA reform. Most litigated legislation you'll find anywhere. We need to streamline, not wait 10 years. On average, you're getting 7 to 10 years. If we want to be competitive, we have to have things built now. I also took the opportunity to talk to the president about my concerns about the rise in inflation, especially the numbers that we see today. The concern of what has happened, we're incentivizing people not to work in America. As I've traveled this country, the concern I find from a number of people can't get them back to work. We need to get people back to work, back to school, back to health, and back to normal. I also raised the concern along the border that I want to talk to the president about, having traveled there a few times, of what I'm seeing there. If America was able to watch those young girls, one even 11 months old, that had a rancher not found them, would they even be alive today? The sad part is that's not the only story like that. It's day in and day out. And those are places we can work together and should work together to try to solve what is happening there. I'm really concerned what I see from a future of economics of America. We have not seen the inflation month over month like this since the 1970s and 1950s. We have not seen gasoline lines or what we're going to find rationing since Carter wasn't president. Those are things that we should be looking forward